I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. If all misfortunes were laid in one common heap, whence everyone must take an equal portion, most people would be contented to take their own and depart. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. By all means, marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. He is richest who is content with the least. For content is the wealth of nature. The unexamined life is not worth living. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. To find yourself, think for yourself. Strong minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Weak minds discuss people. He who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. Envy is the ulcer of the soul. If a man is proud of his wealth, he should not be praised until it is known how he employs it. Regard your good name as the richest jewel you could possibly be possessed of. For credit is like fire. When once you have kindled it, you may easily preserve it. But if you once extinguish it, you will find it an arduous task to rekindle it again. The way to gain a good reputation is to endeavor to be what you desire to appear. The shortest and surest way to live with honor in the world is to be in reality what we would appear to be. And if we observe, we shall find that all human virtues increase and strengthen themselves by the practice of them. Bad men live that they may eat and drink, whereas good men eat and drink that they may live. Only the extremely ignorant or the extremely intelligent can resist change. People demand freedom of speech to make up for the freedom of thought, which they avoid. When the debate is over, slander becomes the tool of the loser. The hour of departure has arrived, and we go our ways. I to die, and you to live. Which is better? Only God knows. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. He does only what is his to do, and considers constantly what the world has in store for him, doing his best and trusting that all is for the best. For we carry our fate with us, and it carries us. To love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony. To watch the courses of the stars as if you revolved with them. To keep constantly in mind how the elements alter into one another. Thoughts like this wash off the mud of life below. No one can keep you from living as your nature requires. Nothing can happen to you that is not required by nature. Doctors keep their scalpels and other instruments handy for emergencies. Keep your philosophy ready to understand heaven and earth. In everything you do, even the smallest thing, remember the chain that links them. Nothing earthly succeeds by ignoring heaven. Nothing heavenly by ignoring the earth. People try to get away from it all, to the country, to the beach, to the mountains. You always wish that you could too, which is idiotic. You can get away from it at any time you like by going within. Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul. What injures the hive injures the bee. Whatever happens to you is for the good of the world. That would be enough right there. But if you look closely, you'll generally notice something else as well. Whatever happens to a single person is for the good of others. In short, know this. Human lives are brief and trivial. Yesterday, a blob of semen. Tomorrow, embalming fluid. Ash. Indifference to external events and a commitment to justice in your own acts. Which means thought and action resulting in the common good, what you were born to do. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own. Not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. To you, all you have seems small. To me, all I have seems great. Your desire is insatiable. Mine is satisfied. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. If you seek truth, you will not seek to gain a victory by every possible means. And when you have found truth, you need not fear being defeated. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. True instruction is this: to learn to wish that each thing should come to pass as it does. I laugh at those who think they can damage me. They do not know who I am. They do not know what I think. They cannot even touch the things which are really mine and with which I live. No matter what happens, it is within my power to turn it to my advantage. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Take care not to hurt the ruling faculty of your mind. If you were to guard against this in every action, you should enter upon those actions more safely. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. If you ever happen to turn your attention to externals for the pleasure of anyone, be assured that you have ruined your scheme of life. If you are in pain, you will find fortitude. If you hear unpleasant language, you will find patience. Those proficient praise no one, blame no one, and accuse no one. Events happen as they do. People behave as they are. Embrace what you actually get. Other people's views and troubles can be contagious. Don't sabotage yourself by unwittingly adopting negative, unproductive attitudes through your associations with others. Now is the time to get serious about living your ideals. How long can you afford to put off who you really want to be? Your nobler self cannot wait any longer. Put your principles into practice now. Stop the excuses and the procrastination. This is your life. You aren't a child anymore. The sooner you set yourself to your spiritual program, the happier you will be. The longer you wait, the more you'll be vulnerable to mediocrity and feel filled with shame and regret. Because you know you are capable of better. From this instant on, vow to stop disappointing yourself Separate yourself from the mob. Decide to be extraordinary and do what you need to do now. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. And to be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Love is a serious mental disease. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Do not train a child to learn by force or harshness, but direct them to it by what amuses their minds, so that you may be better able to discover with accuracy the peculiar bent of the genius of each. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. If you are willing to reflect on the courage and moderation of other people, you will find them strange. They all consider death a great evil, and the brave among them face death. When they do, for fear of greater evils. Therefore, it is fear and terror that make all men brave, except for philosophers. Yet, it is illogical to be brave through fear and cowardice. What of the moderate among them? Is their experience not similar? They master certain pleasures because they are mastered by others. I fear this is not the right exchange to attain virtue. To exchange pleasures for pleasures, pains for pains, and fears for fears. The greater for the less like coins, but that the only valid currency for which all these things should be exchanged is wisdom. Desires are only the lack of something, and those who have the greatest desires are in a worse condition than those who have none, or very slight ones. Life, if well lived, is long enough. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Love, in its essence, is spiritual fire. Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as not to injure future ones. Man is affected not by events, but by the view he takes of them. How does it help to make troubles heavier by bemoaning them? Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Time heals what reason cannot. Let us say what we feel and feel what we say. Let speech harmonize with life. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. It is not that we have so little time, but that we lose so much. The life we receive is not short, but we make it so. Remember that pain has this most excellent quality. If prolonged, it cannot be severe. And if severe, it cannot be prolonged. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. While we wait for life, life passes. We are always complaining that our days are few, and acting as though there would be no end of them. Every night before going to sleep, we must ask ourselves, what weakness did I overcome today? What virtue did I acquire? True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing.